A very good morning to you. Welcome to the 26th day in the month of March 2024. It's Wednesday, midweek already. How far has your week gone? Welcome to the show. Welcome to Family and Values on Galaxy Television, where we are reaching out for the stars. Family is everything. Family is you and I, the bond that we share. And on the show, we discuss everything that has to do with your family, my family, your relationship, parenting, childhood, societal values, restoring values back to the younger generation. That's the essence of this show, to remind us of our roots, of our African roots, and what we were brought up with, the values we were taught. The show runs Monday to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. just like we're on your screen this beautiful morning. And yes, it's beautiful because we have you, our viewers, always watching with us. The Ramadan is almost coming to an end, and I'm sure a lot of my Muslim friends are already preparing to round up. I saw someone's status, the person said, may this not be the last Ramadan we will be celebrating. And I say amen to a very big one. Yeah. All right, we are streaming on our app. You can download the Galaxy mobile app and the Opiga so you can watch us anytime. Big shout out to our Star Times family. We love you. We appreciate you. If this is the first time you're seeing this beautiful, elegant face, I am Princess Joy Ayo Abu, and I'm not on the show alone. Family is togetherness, and I have my own paddy and partner on this family and values. You know how already. We're talking about Mama Jenzi. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you. How are you?
Morning, I'm fine.
You're looking all goldy this morning.
When I saw you this morning, I was saying this one will just go to my wardrobe. When you just finish, I'll come to the house and just pick this one.
Okay.
You can always make another one.
So help me God.
Amen.
Joy. Not Nigeria now. I'm pledging to joy. God will help me. You know, yesterday is gone. Tomorrow, may hold many mysteries unknown to you. But today is all yours. Today you can make the best out of life. You can do whatever it feels you think and is right. Whatever it is your goal, your mission, your purpose, your belief, your right. All together. It's all about you today. So I just want to welcome you to the show. A beautiful morning to you out there, our lovers, our friends, our followers, those who wish us well, those who don't even see us at all. We wish you all the very best. If you are just clicking on this channel for the first time, it's a beautiful day. And I believe this midweek, the month is gradually. Today being 26, it goes a long way. I will just bless God for life. We thank Him for the grace and the privilege He's given unto us as we are marching, out of March. May we march not into death, difficulties, problems, failures, disappointment. May we not march into suicide or depression. That's my prayer and my wish for you from Family and Values this morning. My name is Olori Adejoke Adobi. David, my friends call me Olori. AJ, join us. Let's rock the sport this morning together because you need to be here.
Yeah, you need to be here. Do we have any birthday shout outs?
Yes, I have birthday shout out from a darling brother. Hold on, let me just click on it. It's a long one, but I will try as much as possible to make it as short and as brief as I can. Okay, to Akim Adegunju. Okay, from his staff, happy birthday to you. Yesterday was actually your birthday. We pray it will be the beginning of many beautiful things to you, to people around you, and those who love you. Because if your staff is wishing you, you see your life is good. That means you make a difference. No matter how bad, you still have the good that you can remember. And also to Oluwaseun Adesoya, aka Lastborn. All these Lastborn, I dey fear them. Lastborn, I dey fear you at away salute. I love una, but I dey fear una at the same time. Firstborn and lastborn, they always have something good together. But those in the middle, they always have counter. So a big shout out to you, happy birthday, and to everyone celebrating today on a beautiful day like this. Wish you the very, very best. And this will not be the list of celebration because your new age is blessed by God's grace.
Yes, your new age is blessed. Mine is not a birthday shout out, but this is just to remember someone who bettered this beautiful soul. Yes, today is exactly 20 years since since I lost my mom.
Wow.
And I woke up and I was, and I was just feeling a bit uneasy. 20 years, just like joke, you know, and she's still resting in the bosom of the Lord. So to everyone who have lost a loved one, we are sending our condolences to you, and we are saying, don't worry, you're still moving, their souls are resting. You just need to make them proud. So yes, to everyone grieving, we are saying, may their soul rest in perfect peace. Amen. Amen. All right, let's go now. Mini feature, and when we return, we have a very beautiful guest waiting to join our conversation this morning. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back. That was our mini feature, and today's conversation is overcoming parental guilt. A lot of parents are on this table. One thing they did, when they are thinking, did I do it well? Why am I still having this guilt? You wanted your child to be a medical doctor, and she ended up becoming a music, and you're now feeling like, I should have just allowed her. Now she's making all the money. You know, a lot of parental guilt and emotions moving in and there. You know, so we said, okay, let's have this conversation. And this morning, like I said, we have a very beautiful young lady in arms. Don't worry, she is a mom. She's a gospel artist. Maybe she'll give us one of those melodies. When they say do, re, mi, fa, so, or
she'll give us those, those little tones.
Those little tones, you know, and those lullaby, you know. Yeah, all right. We have her for the first time on our show. Good morning to you, Okpe Oluwa.
Good morning.
Oluwa Fashin Damilola. Fashin or Damilola. I'm going to be pronouncing Yoruba names. Clap for me. Clap for me. Yes.
See, you are clapping.
No, see. All right, welcome to the show. Good to have you on the show.
It's good to have you this morning. How are you? How's the family?
I'm very good. I'm fine.
I can see you're good.
No, she is.
You know, I can see the flash.
Thank God.
This voice is the one you're using. This smile, I don't understand.
I'm sure this is how you cut it.
I don't understand.
Well, I know you want to get something from him.
I'm going to take one of. I used to take something from my first time guest. So your bracelet, I'll take it.
God,
forget it.
Yeah, I'm back to laugh.
I'm back.
Oh my God.
Good morning and welcome.
It's so good to have you.
How is the music industry going? I just saw that you released one single on Audio Mac somewhere on.
Yeah, that's been since 2020.
See
now. That's a long time. Oh. So we are still outdated. Fresh one is coming. All right. Okay, welcome.
I'm good to have you. Worship ministry. Lead more of worship songs.
More of worship songs. You lead us into worship this morning. Let's worship into the spirit of parents that are feeling guilty. Let them out of that guilt, you know. Yeah.
Let's see how we go.
All right, today's conversation, overcoming parental guilt. Now, what are some of those significant sources that causes parental guilt? For instance, it's now that entrepreneur is coming up, and thank God you're an entrepreneur. Back then, parents would not even allow their children going to sewing, they feel like, no, you must be a medical doctor. And then children that took the lead and decided to follow their passion now become successful. And then parents are feeling like, even though they don't come out to tell the children, they are feeling like, if I knew I'd have supported this child from time, because now the money is coming in and you're feeling guilty to ask, you know, to say this out. I've started earlier. And there are a lot of things that causes all this. But what are some of those most significant sources of parental guilt?
Okay, actually, let's look at it from this perspective. What is parental guilt? Is the feeling of inadequacy. Is the feeling that you are not enough. You've not done it the way you ought to have done it. So, knowing this, of course, almost every parent will be caught in this kind of web at one point or the other. Yeah. Because you always feel that, oh, I'm not good enough. I've not done it well enough. So I think basically social pressure. You know, when you see the way things are done on the social media, everywhere, all around your environment and all, You feel, oh, I'm doing this. Okay, this is what I should have done. This is the way I should have done it better. And you are not really out there. And you begin to compare yourself. Like you are comparing yourself with the other person. Oh, this is the way this Mr. So raised his or her child. I'm not meeting up. So the pressure is there. You have this internal battle going on the inside of you that you are not good enough. So,
do you think parents really need to feel guilty sometimes? Because sometimes when you compare yourself to another parent, it's just like we comparing our daughter to our sons, or the firstborn to the middle, to two siblings, two of our children. Maybe the firstborn and the middleborn. Maybe you have a boy, a girl, and a boy. So you are comparing the sisters, the senior one to the junior one. Now, do we need to compare ourselves to other parents? I want to ask that, my first question. And how can parents respond to the feeling of guilt? And how can they overcome it?
Actually, parental guilt, there's nothing you can do about it. Because in as much as you are still in this flesh, you will still have that feeling at one point or the other. In as much as you don't want to be complacent, we always aspire to be better in life. So you always want to, there's always a goal you want to reach.
True.
Yeah. So at some point you feel that way, that, oh, because you are falling short of the expectation you have for yourself. So the guilt will always come. But it's just that you have to be firm, you have to be determined that nobody is ever perfect in life. In as much as we are still in this flesh, we make mistakes. Sure. So you must make allowance for yourself, and you bring yourself to that point that, look, when you make mistake, get up and keep moving.
Okay, but you have not responded to
her second question.
Okay, yeah. You can overcome it, first of all, by having you can overcome this by resting your mind first. That, look, in as much as my parents were not perfect, I'm also not perfect. So come to a conclusion that you can never be perfect as long as you are still on this earth. There's always room for improvement. So settle that on the inside of you, that, okay, you can always learn. Then also you can we can overcome this by, anytime you are feeling this guilt, I think it suggests that you are burning out. So you can look for a way to get a place to relax yourself, get to that point that you need to recalibrate, separate yourself from your busy schedules and all of that. Get away, relax, and just calm yourself. If you are Christians like me, I'll take time out and pray in other tongues. So it helps me to overcome this kind of pressure.
Reassuring yourself can also go a long way too, because some parents, in the process of trying to meet up with whatever it is they have missed, steps they have left, vacuums that they have left.
Yeah.
I believe when you speak to yourself and also seek
counsel. Yeah, that's very true.
Would that help?
You can speak to your friends. Of course, that's what friendship is all about. You have people you can lean on their shoulders, because we are not created to be in isolation. It's therapeutic when you talk to someone. So you talk to your friend.
Okay, now let's bring it to the angle. Do you think that most parents need to genuinely apologize to their grown kids just to overcome that guilt? Now, I'll give you a very typical example. Growing up, the kind of parenting style we had was different. And truly, sitting down here, I still feel like my father owed me some apologies for the way he misunderstood me, for the way he handled certain things. I'm sitting down now as a parent and saying, no. Daddy would have genuinely say, I'm sorry. He would not have come out to say, I feel this good. But deep inside of him, he'll be feeling, truly, I should have. Because it happens to me as a parent. Sometimes I do something to my child, and deep inside of me, I'll later say, no, I shouldn't have. Even the times of she was saying it, stylishly we just say, oh yeah, sorry, we'll buy something, you know. But like my daughter was saying, you just buy one thing. Now it helped me overcome that guilt of, okay, I did this. Do you think that genuinely, even as grown as we are, most of our parents then need to apologize to kids now that understand what parenting is? I'm not talking about just the way I told you. My father should tell me at a certain point I shouldn't have spanked you, or at a certain point I shouldn't have.
How many do you want to remember?
Do you get?
How many will
but
he
yes.
get together?
Do you think that it can help overcome parental guilt that is deep inside you? A lot of parents really hurt kids, a lot, and until they come to the realization of genuinely saying, I'm sorry, I offended you, that guilt will always keep eating inside. Do you think that a lot of parents watching out, they need to take that part to overcome the guilt?
Definitely. The best way to go about it is to swallow your pride and apologize. You should be your children's friend. Even with grown-up kids, there's nothing to hide anymore. You should call them, talk to them. This is the way I've done it, and I'm sure I didn't know better then. Now I know better. Now you can apologize. It's not. I don't think it should be an issue to just call your son or your daughter and say
it's a big issue
for African parents.
It's a big issue.
African parents, some of them come to realization after a long
time.
And
Yes.
them, you know, show their pride. Their disciplinarian attitude swallow it up, especially when they get to that stage, and they see you. It's good when this grandparents see you with their grandchildren.
Yeah.
It opens up a lot of things, especially if we, just like we have family and values now, you know, go a long way to make sure maybe during holidays or they come to stay with you and they see the way you relate to their grandparents and they're like, it hits them. It hits some of them and bring a flashback to something similar that happened years back when you were still young. For those who can still calculate and still remember things, because you know some of our old parents, big respect to them, some of them, they have certain disease or sickness that may not recount. But when they remember this, it helps them to like, oh, call me. They will come back, you know, I'm speaking over now. You know, they will try to call you on like, my son, my daughter, I'm sorry for what I did. What you just did now made me to remember. Some will. And some will just hit me. That
is it.
That child.
Still that's African this thing.
So it's not all of them. But I believe some of them still come back to realization to know that maybe when you take care of them to a certain point,
exactly,
and you see teary eyes,
and for some of them that were never there for you, and then they now see you being there for them, taking care of them, you know, that guilt, it reminds them that I was not dead. Just like we're saying, it's not that entrepreneurial other extracurriculum activity has taken this thing. Do you get? So but anyway, let's go on our word of marble. We'll be right back to continue this conversation. Stay with us. Welcome back from our word of marble. And it's no matter how you try to be perfect, mothers, wives, the guilt will always find around, somewhere hiding around to find you. We are still discussing overcoming parental guilt, and our guest is still very much in the studio.
Yes,
now
Madam
to your
Lola
question.
Fatima is still very much here. Okay, Madam Lola, I want to ask, how can relationship, you know, between parents be mended? And when you look at this, especially when the parent has erred in some areas regarding the child's growing up, picking a career, or choosing a profession, how can such broken relationship be mended? How can it come back to seal it up? Okay, let me give you an instance. Something just crossed my mind. I always have this story. Experience of life. a situation whereby you were told not to marry the love of your life. And you finally got married. It took a while before you could bring forth a child waiting. And the daughter was waiting. And the in-laws were taking things lightly. They got to a point, they found out that the guy is not, they're not compatible. After like 5 years or almost 10 years, how do you think such a relationship can be mended? Because, let me put it to you. Oh yeah, how do we go about this? Where should they start from? What should be the first process to the end? Can you help us with that?
Well, I think it depends on the individuals involved and where they are at the stage of their development. Sense that some can easily cope with offense and quickly move on. Some have issues forgiving easily. So I think it lies with the child herself or himself, as it were, and the parents. Let's look at a believers, for instance, who know that offense is a very terrible place to be. If you are not willing to forgive, it's like you are taking poison, expecting the other person to die. You have taken the poison and you expected the person to die, which means you are hurting yourself. So of course, definitely hurting people will always hurt others. True. So, but if you realize and you know that, look, to err is human, to forgive is divine. And humans are characterized by imperfection. You just want. And with the help of God and the help of the Holy Spirit, you just forgive. On the parents' part, there should be communication. I think they should sit down, because I have similar experience, though not in marital issues and all. You know, when parents offend children, now that the children are grown, they should sit down. Let's talk about this issue. Don't sweep it under carpet.
No, avoid it.
No.
They will even use authority.
They will hear.
I mean, I'm your father.
No.
I gave birth to you. Now that you want to start reminding me.
Thank God you're also good.
Your children will do same to you.
It's emotional blackmail. It won't work. It's emotional blackmail. That won't make, it won't drive them any further. The best is that the parents should swallow their pride. That's just the truth. Swallow your pride. Accept that, look, I've made mistake. Of course, they have conscience now. And they have, even from all that you have said, they have seen themselves that, okay, this result has comfort. So we shouldn't be, this pride thing is a very big deal. Very big. Yeah, it destroys relationship. Any relationship that you know you want to maintain and you want it to have a long-lasting, lifespan. True. You must avoid pride.
Okay. Now, what can the younger generation of parents that we are raising, that we are talking to, do to avoid parental guilt? Because now we have parents who are in that parental guilt already, becoming parents, raising kids. How do we avoid the younger generation from going through that same parental guilt? Now, we are in an era of social media, and everybody wants to be Instagram parents. They want their kids to blow without necessarily wanting to know what does this child want to do. Everybody wants to be an actress, to be in the media. Oh, let them see your face, and you're forgetting that this is not what child wants to do. So you're still going through that line of, we've had stories of people say, oh, my father never supported me, my mother never. It's until the money started coming in. That is where the guilt comes in. Because when you didn't support this child, and now the child is making money, and you now expect the child to bring the money to you, and the child is saying, no, you were never there, you shouldn't be. You now start feeling like silently, without coming out to say, okay, so how can this younger generation of parenthood that we are talking to avoid parental guilt? What are those things they can do to know that, okay, my parents did this and I know they are feeling this way. I don't want to do this so that I don't have this guilt when my kids become grown up. If you support your child and your child has made it, you should be the number one person that your child will carry up and down, you know, and be prouding around and saying, oh, my father, yes, I know, be prouding things, you know. But when you don't give that support, it becomes you as a parent we even feel guilty that's the guilt we are talking about.
And that's why you see most of the parents, you know, they don't enjoy the first
fruits that comes, yes.
Because the children we have now, the generation we have now, you do wrong, they
would instantly, they are not waiting like for karma, they serve you there.
That of respect,
you still do.
You still be like, yes sir. That yes sir, you know reach down, yes sir, yes sir. Inside, even the way the yes sir is coming, self, it's like borrowing you, you know, trying to like this man. And that's why you see some of them raise their hand on their parents. Some, I'm not saying all, out of no respect, lost of the bond that is supposed to be, you know, has been taken, because maybe some of them have even taken advantage of those children to the extent that the children see nothing to want to even give that respect. Imagine, recently something happened on social media, I don't want to start mentioning it, and you know, like, why can't you take care of your father? For what? And you have a whole lot of money coming in. Excuse me, big guy in town. When you talk about the entertainment industry, and nothing is coming in to your father. Forget saying don't wicked. You know, our culture will always bring you to your source, your roots that come here. Do you have head at all? You can't be doing all this, and by that, the child. I don't know whether there was any bad, you know, only between the father and the son. But out of like people calling him out, made him to say, okay, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. So what is your from this with the question she's asking? I just need to point out that to help cap it up.
Two wrongs can never make it right. And the best vengeance belongs to God.
True.
Yeah. So, and the best revenge is never to pay evil back for evil. Because by the time we are going the same route, oh, he didn't treat me right. Now it's my time. I don't have to treat him right. Then you are going the wrong lane, and don't expect something better for that kind of child, because it's like he's going to become a pattern. So the best way, never pay evil for evil, and that is a very sure way for God never to bless you. If you pay good for evil, who gets the blessings? You, of course, and you will be at peace. You will sleep well. Your mind will, your conscience will be at rest. You will not be feeling, I don't know. There is this calmness that comes to you, and you can even, of course, you'll be able to mentor other people and tell them, look, this is the way this person treated me, but I won't go that route. I choose not to go that path. So the best way to be better version of our parents, or to not repeat some of these pitfalls our parents fell into, is to be intentional. You have to be intentional about your parenting. Like, okay, these are the things that my parents did, I never liked it. So sit down. Of course, we live life forward. Remember, we understand it backwards. Yeah, we live life forward, remember it backwards. But sit down, write down. Like, I love journaling. At some point, at the early, years of my marriage, I used to write.
So what stopped that?
A lot of activity. I still enjoy writing. Sometimes when I'm meditating, I love to write. Like Sylvia, I love to write. So I write. Okay, these are the things I really don't like about myself.
Both things, Abby. You don't write bad things. Some people are good at writing.
I write the bad things.
I learned my dad. According to our counselors, it's not good to write bad things.
You say that's your dad. Your dad will write the bad things.
If you carry out my daddy's diary,
oh my, it's actually my bed.
he's late.
Okay.
He repented before he died. But he would always, but it was a bad habit. It was a bad something.
That's why I need to, I just need to strike it out.
Yes.
So that you can help.
You don't
us.
keep record of evil. You don't keep record of evil.
But
when I journal, what I'm journaling is that, what I'm writing down is, I need to improve on this. Okay, I remember there was a time like that. I think the very first 5 years of my marriage, I was like, I remember my husband would tell me, wake up and smell the coffee. This is reality. This is not this is not Alice in Wonderland.
This is not Alice in Wonderland. This is reality.
He said, this is our reality. Let's wake up and let's walk. So I remember I would just write, my husband wants this, my husband wants that. How can I make myself better? So there was a time I wrote down. I said, okay, I don't want to be a paper. I want to be a polythene. Paper means when you pour water in the paper, it absorbs it. And by the time you pick it up, it's no longer in the same shape. But a polythene, you pour water, pour anything, just pick it up and shake it off. It still bounces back. So that was it. I was able to work on myself, and with the help of the Holy Spirit, and of course reading Bible and fellowshipping with the brethren, he exposes me. It has exposed me, and of course still exposing me to a whole lot of things. I see a lot of parents, I see relationships that I admire, and I look at them the way they do it. So it brings me to that point that this generation or younger parents, be better version of their parents. So you have to be intentional about it. You can write out the things you want to work on, and of course evaluate yourself at later time and look how far have I gone on this aspect of my life. It makes you a better person, because if you just say, I want to be a better parent, and you are not conscious of it, or you have not written down, you might forget. The shortest pen is better than the longest memory. So when you pick up your journal, like myself, sometimes I just pick up, I wrote this thing down here. How have I done so far? And I look up and say, but you were never like this. You are no longer like this. Thank God for growth. So when you are intentional about it, it helps you. And of course, you need to follow people who know road. Look at, you have role models. Look at people whose parenting style you admire. Yes, a lot of people, they put up beautiful things out there, but on the inside they might be having a lot of things to hide. But people are really genuine and sincere. Look at them. You can pattern your life after them. And of course, for you to overcome pressure, because this parental guilt is first of all internal, then external factors affect you. So for you to be, to overcome this parental guilt, or not to even toe that path, you have to work on yourself. Work on yourself, and you don't have to pretend to be who you are not. The truth is, parenting is like, it's not do as I say, it's do as I do. A lot of times the children copy what mommy and daddy does. So it's not about, don't go there. A parent is telling the child, don't play with the phone, I want you to always be reading and all of that, and the parent is always on the phone. What do you expect the child to do?
Okay, I want to ask, what role does self-care play, especially when we talk about the compassion, the overcoming, compassion in overcoming parental guilt? What role does self-care and the compassion that comes with overcoming the parental guilt, what role does it play?
Yeah, it's very, very important and big, because it helps to liberate you. It brings you to the original state that you were supposed to be. So when you sit back, you relax, you are kind to yourself, and you don't have to overflow yourself and tell yourself that, you are not meeting up. The moment you begin to tell yourself you are not doing it well enough, you still discover that you enter into error more. But when you relax and chill, you are at rest. You do things better from the point of rest, and you take care of yourself, take care of your mental health. Like if you are being pressured, you are weak, you take out time to relax, maybe 2 days off, just on your own. you know, maybe you even travel out of your home environment. By the time you come back refreshed, and you can face whatever comes with, you know, with better strength. You have that strength, you are energized to face what is ahead of you. It's very important.
Now, let's take it from this angle. Parents that have truly given all to their kids. There was a time we were having this conversation and Olori was saying something. They are parents that we will give them their trophy that you've done well when it comes to parenting. But you have these children that still want to go like this in all you have done. And as a parent, you're asking yourself, where did I go wrong? Why has this child decided to be a thorn in the flesh? Why are other children not like this? It's not as if you've done perfectly well as a parent, but you have those children that will just give you that headache every time as a parent. How do you overcome such guilt? Because it's always the case of, did I over pamper? Was I too? Is there something I did? Meanwhile, you've done that very thing as you do as a parent. But you just have some children, like that they should say, some children are just, they sit in them is just different. And you'll be asking, this is not from our lineage. Where are you coming from?
All the children
cannot be the same. How do you deal with such guilt in parents?
Well, let's look at it from this perspective. Okay. You know, when every child came to the world, they were born clean, on a clean slate. And what informs their character is what they see around, the exposure, the internal one, and of course the immediate family, and of course the pressure from outside. So I believe that at one point or the other, the child might have picked one or two things from other people. And of course the red flags or the character traits that have been coming up from 0 to 5 that the parents ignored, that they didn't see. Although I'm not saying, I don't know if I could say this in Yoruba. Some people will say, please. Okay, some people will say, anything koko eye, no more. Some will say, I don't know how to interpret that in English.
No, just explain what that means.
If you plant cocoa, if you make a cocoa plant, the one that brings results is the one that knows the way. The good results knows the way. Everybody celebrates good results.
Definitely.
So if your result is not as good as the other one, they feel, oh, you don't know it. They will ask the other person who has better results, how did you do it? But looking at it, sometimes it may look like even the other person that has failed had put in more work. Life is spiritual. We all know that. Sometimes the devil can just come at some children, and that's where prayer comes in. We pray, having done all, stand, put it in the hands of God. This is what I can do. Help me. Because you cannot fix it, or you cannot, And this brings me to the fact that, you see, life is spiritual. There is this nature, sin nature in every human. When you give birth to a child, he has that sin nature. And that sin nature, whether you beat the child or you not beat the child, informs that child's behavior. So when you expose them on time to that kind of information, the right kind of environment, they'll turn out well. But those ones that decide to go on their own path, I think prayers would be of great help. And of course, your pastor will say, "Omo adura okinson." Even if they go, prayer will still bring them back.
It's just like home always call them back.
Home will always call them back.
Prayer does not get lost.
Now, you take care of girls and one of them gets pregnant, and you bought 5 dogs as watching for them. You know, there are some houses that you can't that's a strong one. You've bought all the dogs, you've done everything to protect these girls, and one of them gets pregnant, or 2. Teenage pregnancy sets in, and you're asking, because this is reality.
Where did the parents go wrong?
Where did the parents go wrong there?
Where do you think the parents?
Some things cannot be explained. That is just
okay.
If you have done what you're supposed to do as parents, well, the child has chosen their own path. You just pray for that. You know, I used to tell teenagers, I don't learn from by experience. Learn from what you have been taught. Open your ears and learn. Learn by becoming the victim.
The victim.
Don't be the victim that people will now
use you to now start giving
you know, it also brings me to, even as we wrap up, thank you so much for being part of today's show. We really appreciate. I enjoyed every bit of it, I won't lie to you. And this will bring me to what Yoruba people will say to console ourselves. It's a you bashi. It would have been more. Now it means that if those girls did not get pregnant, if this error or mistake did not occur, maybe the one that will even be more bad omen, you understand? So getting pregnant, she'll have to live to take care of it. Yeah, she will go through it. A good mother, they will nurture her, take care of her. Yeah, no, it's true. Seriously, that's the best way to go about it, because if you have pulled 5 watchdogs and they still went ahead to get pregnant, and you know in your own way you have not them, trained them, given them everything. So is it the marriage of the Holy Spirit?
But what I would say, for me, I would say that expect the best. Good things will always come to people, good people. Fine. Always expect the best. I always expect the best. I don't expect.
And even when you're expecting the best, life gives us
good and bad. Yeah.
So that bad does not mean you are failed. It's just a step. That's why we say failure is an antagonist to success. It will always want to block you. You are failed, you not be failed. No. Because it happened that way does not mean you are written off, does not mean it's over, does not mean you can not still come back to life, does not mean you cannot be repaired, does not mean you cannot be mended, does not mean that you cannot still make headway. We have people who have gone through such stages, and you see them today, they become great women. And you say, wow, excuse me? Wow, seriously? Success still runs around them. So because you have done your bit as parents, please do more. God will continue to strengthen you. That's what we can encourage you with this morning. God will strengthen you, God will support you. Continue to pray for them, because they came from someone. They did not come from your own parents. And irrespective of whatever error or guilt that you are holding on to, believe in yourself that I have made wrong. If you have, acknowledge it. Know it. When you acknowledge you're wrong, you have done almost everything. So apologize to whoever you want to apologize to with your children. It goes a long way. It even brings back bonds, you know, that you have missed when they're grown up. No matter how old they are, just say, my daughter, I love you. I'm so sorry. Whatever I've done for you. That alone, even if you have, do it with remorse, and it will go a long way with these children. God will bless our children. God will make us to reap the fruits of parenthood, and God will make life better for us. On that note, my name is Remain Olori. Hope to see you tomorrow. Thank you for joining us this morning. Bye for now from my side.
All right, tomorrow is Healthy Thursday, and we will be discussing bipolar syndrome. Now, I saw this, I've seen a lot of videos on social media that say, oh, people are shaking. I don't know what it's all about. Tomorrow, the medical team will help us. Let's know how to avoid it. Let's know how to live our lives, I've seen it a lot, but tomorrow, hey, trust our doctors to give us an insight into the conversation. Thank you for being a part of the show this morning, and thank you to our beautiful guests here in the studio. And thank you to Mama Gen Z, for helping us overcome some guilt in us. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. I am Princess Joy Ayo Abu. Have a splendid Wednesday, and stay out of trouble.